so chuffed. Day, dear people. Back out for another week's photography out and about. Today I've come to a nature reserve in Bristol. Shocker, I know, completely against the run of play. On my own this week, or today at least. But I've come here because I was actually here last. Ooh, what are you? As I was saying, I was here last week, maybe, week before, with a few friends. Me and Ben arrived a little later than they did, and so we missed seeing water voles. Now, water voles are actually, again, something that I haven't managed to photograph before. I did, well, that is a little bit of a lie. I did used to volunteer with the Wetland Wildfowl Trust back in Arundel in West Sussex. Although I saw a few water voles there, I never managed to get a really wild shot, and it's not quite the same as having an experience in a nature reserve with them. So I've come back with the aim of getting my first proper wild photos of a water vole. The spot I arrived at couldn't have been better for photography. It was a flat wooden platform almost level with the water that had a great view of a circular pond directly in front of me. I decided to set up on the left-hand side of the platform with a view of the narrower channel on the right-hand side. Most of the shots I've seen of water voles were of them sat just out of the water, so it made sense to set up with a long view of the water's edge. It would also give me a good view of both parts of the pond, letting me learn from any sightings I may get while sat there, even if they're not within line of the camera. Well, that was the plan anyway. Unfortunately, I didn't see anything. My theory is that when it's really windy, some animals can get quite jumpy and nervous because they can't hear predators approaching as well. Mind you, that is a completely unresearched theory, so if anyone has any evidence confirming or disputing that, I'd be really interested to see in the comments below. However, as I was saying, I hadn't seen anything in several hours, so I decided to come back the next day and try again. But this time, someone else would be coming with me, and they'd be bringing something intriguingly bizarre in the world of photography. Right, day 2. I've just spent all day in a meeting with my friend Jack. We've been discussing things to do with our competition, the Isolation Wildlife Photography Awards 2020. Just coming to a close, and mentioned where I was going, and he's decided he's going to join me in the search for the voles. What was that?
I've got no batteries that are charged.
But he has no batteries. So there's a mad panic to try and get gear ready. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more luck. There's not as much wind, and the sun's out a little bit more, so it should be quite good. Fingers crossed.
Got one battery that's 100%.
Who's this extra from Friends in the background? Oh, it's Jack!
It's a stylish hat, Matt. I'm giving you anything about style.
I don't pretend to.
Crocodile Dundee hat. Do I take my new slider? No. Can't even get out the door. On. Phone. Wallet. Well, I was born in the 90s, so it's 90s.
So was I. 93?
No.
When were you born? 84. So when I walk through to the spot where you sit and wait for the voles, there's these lovely meadows, and Jack, being a macro photographer or macro specialist, has got quite excited.
I want to go in. See ya. It goes on.
It does.
This hat's so uncomfortable though. Can't wear it anymore.
So I've just set up in the same spot as last time, and I've now got a lot of gear envy because although I love this setup, the one thing I'd always love is to be able to get lower, and I can't because of the central column in the tripod. Obviously getting lower always makes for better photos, well 9 times out of 10, because you can get level with the subject and make the person looking at the photo forget that a camera was ever involved. And Jack over here is set up with these ridiculous tripod legs to let him get stupidly low to the water, and then has stuck his lens in the water.
I come here to maybe see one thing, and then I've seen 12 different species, like macro species, and I'm way more excited about that. If I see that, cool. But I've just seen a diving beetle that's like that big.
Yeah.
Never seen one before.
Yeah. It is all cool.
So you're trying to film the wrong subject matter.
No.
Bye.
They're just, as I've said before, it's the down days that make the up days so much more worthwhile. Though I am very envious of the ability to photograph macro underwater at the moment. So, as you can probably tell by looking behind me, the light is disappearing fast. All sounds and activity from the water voles has just stopped, so I'm going to try an early morning one next. Jack's lost all the light for doing his macro stuff underwater and is also packing up. But the aim now, having said that, I think I might have just heard something. Can you actually see something? Just as we're setting off to leave, we started hearing movement all the way around. And although we have heard a tiny bit of movement here and there, it wasn't anything as confident as what we've just heard. By which I mean loud and heavy movements. Give it 5 more minutes, and if we don't hear anything, we're going to pack up and do the long walk round through the fields in the hope of seeing a deer or two and getting a shot of them in golden hour, and then coming back tomorrow morning. First thing. Some well-fitting waterproofs there, Jack.
Sponsored by Burger.
Right. We are awake. We're awake. What's the time?
Early.
It is 4:40 in the morning. Officially 10 minutes away from sunrise. Fingers crossed. I'm leaving the hat behind because it's only slightly weatherproof and we don't want to ruin it. And Jack's very upset because he loves the hat. He says it's very fashionable. Don't you, Jack? So, as the rain has now stopped, I can update you and move through these reeds to my new photography location for today. Jack has taken up residence on the bank, as I think you can see. And I found a little spot here. Those of you who follow me on Instagram and stuff will know that I often adopt the tripod in the water technique at lakes and things like that. It's the first time I've had to use it in a more wild setting. So, camera has a camouflage rain cover on it, and tripod is nestled gently in the water. This is all a natural sort of trail, an animal trail. I tend to have a little seat here. So far, Jack's messaged me some incredible footage of a vole swimming across the water in front of him. So I haven't had the chance to really capture anything yet. Me and Jack do this thing where we think we can hear one, and we'll sort of look at each other silently to sort of confirm it. And there's a very, very loud one that we both did at exactly the same time. We're like, yes, definitely. But I cannot see a thing. This just goes to show how tricky they are to see, film or photograph. They may well be right there, which, judging by the noises I can hear, it definitely is. But the vegetation that they live amongst is so thick that they only need to be a few centimetres into it and you won't see them at all. Usually when you're looking for them, the first thing you see is a reed moving that it's trying to take down, which is why it's so much easier to see them when there's no wind. I think we might have the shot. I'm not. I think we got the shot. So chuffed. There's like duckweed that's blanketing parts of this water, and you can see sort of trails where voles have been swimming through it and clearing it. I happened to be looking at one of those and saw a vole move through a couple of times. I figured out where it was coming up onto the bank and sort of locked my tripod off facing it. Waited about another half hour. And then it appeared, and I fired off the shutter. It didn't move, but there's loads of reeds in the way, and I didn't really feel comfortable cutting them down or ripping them out or moving them. I want to leave things as it is. And luckily, as the wind picked up, it cleared just enough to have the vole super sharp and in focus. And oh my god, it's such a good feeling. So the rain's starting again. We're calling it because we're not actually that prepared for rain.
I am. I'm supposed to wear bird caps. Did I mention?
Can you explain your camera and your bag?
Well, so I've given up the waterproof cover on the bag, and it's over the camera instead.
So as I said, we're not that prepared for rain. Also, Both got shots for now. We're both pretty chuffed, to be fair.
Yeah.
Your shot you were ecstatic about. You're like, yeah, I'm alright. You were like fist pumping and everything.
Yeah, it's a cool shot.
As was I, to be fair. Oh my god, what a feeling.
Let's go.
To get the shot.
We're getting wet.
yeah, the rain's back. We're going to pack up. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about voles, the mystery link is a perfect one this week. They don't always link up to the topic of the video, but this one actually does. I'm cold.
I don't know how I'm going to travel because that's attached to the bag. It's still raining.
I'm going to go now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time, hopefully in slightly nicer weather. Bye.